I am Colonel Padmanabhan. Today I shall be talking on should you move against the flow or upstream during critical junctures in life. We all know decision making is a very difficult process. Most of the people are worried about the outcome, hence they depend on others for their advice. The situation becomes worse when the condition is critical and a spontaneous or a prompt decision is to be taken, and if not done will take a serious turn having serious repercussions. Normally one is encouraged to decision favorably on the flow or towards the flow because it would reinforce and lead to a positive outcome. But at times it may turn out to be very disastrous also. Sometimes one may have to take a decision against the flow or upstream, even forgetting one's own comfort, at times sacrificing one's own life, which would making epoch-making in the history. Today I am going to cite two real incidents where two great leaders were taken decision against the flow or upstream and became heroes, legend, and received outstanding recognition and made history. Firstly, I shall talk about the Royal Mail steamer, that is Titanic, a British passenger liner operated by the White Star Line. The ship started her maiden voyage from Southampton, that is in UK, to New York, carrying about 2,228 passengers on board on the 12th of April 1912. It was commanded by Captain Edward Smith, and at around 11:40 p.m. on the 14th of April, while the ship was at Atlantic Ocean, it hit a big iceberg, and the impact made a crack in the hull and water started rushing in, and within 2.5 hours, the ship sank entirely. That was around 2:20 a.m. on the 15th of April, losing around 1,500 passengers. When the accident happened, there were 3 ships in the vicinity who saw or received the distress signals. And let us see how the captains of all 3 ships reacted on the incident. The 3 ships were Samson, Californian, and Carpathia. Now coming to the ship Samson, it was just 7 miles away from Titanic, and when the captain saw the distress signal, the white flares, then they decided to go opposite direction because they were hunting seals illegally, and they were afraid they are likely to be caught. So they turned the ship and went opposite. This ship represents people who are so busy looking inward at own sin and lives and can't recognize someone else is in need. The next ship is Californian. It was 14 miles away and it was surrounded by ice fields. The captain saw the white flares, that is the distress signals, and he realized the conditions were not favorable to move. He went back to bed and went off to sleep, saying that tomorrow morning we will see how the conditions would be. This ship represents people who say, I can't do anything. Now the third ship was Carpathia. This ship was the farthest. It was about 58 miles away, and it heard, the captain was Arthur Roston. He heard the cries, the distress cry, the signal on the radio, and immediately he prayed to the God to give him the right direction to reach the spot. He turned the ship around and went to full steam ahead through the ice field. It's ordered the ship's crew to switch off the heating system and all the hot water system so that the entire energy can be channelized, and they took a speed of 70 knots, surpassing the acceptable speed norms. En route, what had happened was that the crew, they were preparing to receive the surviving passengers to ensure swift and successful rescue. The ship saved about 705 survivors, one of the most heroic and perilous rescue effort. It reached the spot around 4 a.m. The ship then collected the 705 survivors and led towards the New York port, and it reached there on the 18th of April. It became the center of intense media attention. More than 100 wireless messages started pouring in from the dear and near ones, congratulating the captain and the crew. And the journalists started approaching him for information data on the event, quoting money, but he did not divulge. When he reached the New York port, the crew, the officers and the captain, they were awarded bronze, silver and gold medal respectively. And he was given knighthood. He was knighted by the King George V in England, UK. And he was the guest of US President, then US President William Howard Taft at the White House. He was presented the Congressional Gold Medal, the highest honor in USA which could be conferred on an individual. So here are the cases where three captains, how they reacted differently. Captain Arthur Rostron, he could have also avoided the situation. No, but he moved against the stream. He went ahead, saved 705 passengers, survivors, and also he became a hero. He got enough recognition worldwide and he became a legend. So that is how, if you take a decision during the critical junctures against the flow or upstream, it will yield very tangible result. Now the second example I am going to quote is about Captain Vikram Batra, the Kargil hero who was awarded Paramveer Chakra posthumously. Captain Vikram Batra was born at Palampur on the 9th of September in 1974. After his graduation, he got an offer from a merchant navy organization in Hong Kong to join. That was the time he exceedingly did very well in the NCC, and he happened to attend the Republic Day camp at Delhi. And on his return, he told his parents, I want to join army. I don't want to join merchant navy. He says, money is not everything in life. I have to do something bigger in life, something great, something extraordinary for my country. He joined Indian Military Academy in 1996, and December 1997 he passed out from the Indian Military Academy as a lieutenant and joined 13 Jammu and Kashmir Rifles, an infantry battalion which was deployed at Sopore in Jammu and Kashmir, which was a highly militant invested region. In 1999, after attending a commando course at Belgaum, he was on a short leave at Palampur, and he used to visit Nagal Cafe with his fiancée Dimple Chima. And that was the time the Kargil war initial stage, the preparations were on, and his fiancée told him that the Kargil war is going to happen and is in the offing, and you please take care enough. So he told her that don't worry, I shall either go and raise the national flag and victory there, else I'll come back duly wrapped in it. And we all know exactly the both thing has happened. The Kargil war started, and his battalion was moved from Sopore to Dras sector, and only reaching there his battalion was tasked to capture a feature that is known as the point 5140, which is it's a hill feature at the height of 17,000 feet. He was the Bravo company commander, and he successfully carried out the operation, and in a daring attack on reaching the feature top, he lobbed 2 grenades in the enemy bunker, and in a close quarter combat he killed 3 Pakistanis, and ultimately at 4:30 a.m. on the 20th of June the feature was captured, and he gave a success signal on radio to his battalion headquarters and others that the success signal was a Dil Mange More, which became a catch line during the entire Kargil operation. After capturing the 5140 feature, the battalion was moved to Moscow Valley. And on reaching the Moscow Valley, again the battalion 13 Jackrif was tasked to capture that is the .4875 feature, which was very strategic, which was very important to be captured. This time he was not the initial attack. He was badly hurt during the 5140 operation, and he was also suffering from fever, and he was taking rest there. And the AN Alpha Company and the Charlie Company, they were going to capture the 4875. There was a violent retaliation from the Pakistanis, and in the battle what had happened was that the Captain Nagappa, who was the company commander, he got shells on his two legs, and he was incapacitated, and he became unconscious. The company was could not advance, and they could not progress, and the Pakistanis were exploiting the situation, and they were launching counter-attack. Captain Batra, who was lying down, he was monitoring, he was listening to the conversation, the progress of the battle on his radio, and immediately understanding the pathetic situation of the company commander, Captain Nagappa, he went to the commanding officer, Colonel Joshi, and told him that I want to go up. The commanding officer told him, you are not well, to take rest. But he said, no, the izzat of my battalion is more important. He, along with 25% of his company, carried out a prayer at the Durga Mother temple, and he started climbing up. Around 4:30 a.m. when he reached there on the top, there was an MMG post which was very active, and with his AK-47 he charged and killed all 3 Pakistanis. Thereafter there was a MMG post on a ledge which was again actively interfering the advance, and there also he charged there and killed all the 5 Pakistani soldiers. Meanwhile, what had happened was one of his soldiers, he got badly hurt, and he was lying in the open. So Captain Batra wanted to take him to a side where he could be given first aid. So he told his JCO Subedar Raghunath that let us shift him. So the Raghunath volunteered to go in the open, but he told him, no, you are a family man, you have children, I am yet to be married. So he went in the open and he was trying to lift him up. That was the time an enemy sniper, he fired, and a bullet pierced through his chest. Meanwhile, one splinter from an RPG also hit his head, and he succumbed on the spot. So this is the heroic deed of Captain Vikram Batra. You know, he was unwell. The commanding officer told him, you don't go up, you take rest. But despite that, he took a decision against the flow, against that is the upstream. And he became a hero, he became a legend, he became a history. So gentlemen, at times in life, we need to take decisions disregarding our comfort and for the betterment of others. And here I come to the end of my talk. I'm sure you all would have enjoyed it, and my only request to you is that kindly subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.